Hello everyone and welcome you all to another chapter of the Blender Essential tutorial. So now we are on our chapter number 14 and here we'll be learning about the bevel and the edge loops. Okay, so we'll be learning how you will be able to add up a bevel and also we'll be learning about different tools over here. So let's not waste time and let's get started. So over here, as you guys can see, now I'm here in the workspace of the Blender. So the first thing what I need to do is from the object mode, I need to go here into the edit mode using tab key from my keyboard. Okay, so if I come here, let's select this one, let's go to edit mode. And now as I am over here into my edit mode, let's come here and let's select the option. Before that, I will just drag this down that I will be able to see all the names of these two which are here on the left hand side. So over here we'll be learning about the bevel, the loop cut, and also about the edge slide tool. Okay, so the first thing we'll be learning what does a bevel tool do. Okay, so for that, let's say I want to come here and from here I will select the edge selection. Okay, so I will come here, let's select this particular edge. And now if I want to actually put on some bevel, if I want to put on any kind of plane layer over here which will be there in a 45-degree angle, now I will select the bevel option. And now over here you guys can see there is a yellow mark. So what I can do is I can come here, let's select this one, let's click on this white part, and over here you guys can see basically it will give you up a plane. Okay, so I will just turn this around, and over here you guys can see it from different angle as well. If you want to see it from a y-axis, if you want to see it from a x-axis, or if you want to see it from the z-axis. Let's come here, let's go to the y-axis again itself. Let's come here and now let's just move this one up a little bit. Okay, so just come over here, and here you guys can see there is basically a 45-degree cut. Okay, so now the next thing is if you want to use or if you want to put on different kind of segments over here, you guys will be able to do that from here itself. Okay, so now let's come right over here, and now let's just go back. Okay, so I'll come back right over here, and using the left key of my mouse I will come here, select this particular edge and select this one. And what I can do is I can just keep my mouse, and there is a roll down option in the mouse, then I will just roll it up, and here you guys can see I do have a number of segments over here. Okay, and I can also decrease the number of segments. Let's control plus, let's go back again, and now if I just click onto this option and if I just roll it down over here, you guys can see now I do have a lot of segments over here. And now if you want to come over here, let's go back. Okay, so I'll come over here back again, and now if you want to put some exact number of segments from here on top, you guys can come, and let's say I want to put 25 over here or 25 segments. So I will just click on enter here into the 25 segments. Now I will just move this one up, and over here you guys can see now I do have a total of 25 segments into this particular bevel joint. Okay, so again if I just go back, let's come here back again, and now if instead of only the edges I want to basically work with the vertices, so I will come here and now I will select the vertices option. And what I'm going to do is I am going to come here, change it on top over here as well. Let's come here, let's select this particular vertices, let's click on shift. So I have selected both of this part over here. Now if I basically move this one up, let's come here, and if I want to give this one up rotation over here, you guys can see how it actually looks. Okay, so over here you guys can see now this is how it actually looks. And over here if I do want to decrease the segment to 1 again, I will click on 1 over here. Let's go back, otherwise let's select this part, and now once I move this one here, you guys can see I will just go back again. And here if I want to change the sharpness of both of this angle. Using shift, I will select both of these vertices, and now I will just move this thing around, and over here you guys can see the cut is quite sharp. Okay, so here you guys can see the cut over here is basically quite sharp. And what you can do from here is, again, if you go to this particular option here under the segments, you guys can come here and basically add up 2 segments and more. Okay, so here you guys can see how this basic segments over here looks like. And now again, go back, and I will just go back over here again. And now here, let's say if I want to put on some bevel, let's take this bevel mode, and now I want to select a whole face. Okay, so over here I will select the vertices itself, and now I will just click on shift, and I will select all this one around. Okay, and now if I just click over here, you guys can see how it basically looks. So from here, if I do want to decrease the segment, I can come here and basically I will be able to decrease the segment from here. So now let's go back, and now what you can do is just drag this one, and here you guys can see how it actually looks. Okay, and if you want to work more over here, you guys can come here into the shape option, and basically you guys can actually decrease the shape option from here as well. And the same way again, if you just go to the edges option, let's go back, and from here now I have selected the edges option, and this is how it will actually look if you use the bevel option right over here. Okay, so as you guys can see, this is how you guys can actually make some house shapes. Okay, so over here on top you guys can actually make this shape around using the bevel tool. And now let's come over here, let's go down, and now let's select this face option, let's select this one, and now let's click on this bevel option. And what I want to do over here is I want to work with the bevel here in detail. So come here on top, and instead of edges, if you want to select vertices, you guys can come here and select vertices. And now you guys can actually change the width of this particular thing right over here. Also, you guys can actually select that how many segments you want it to be. Okay, so if you do want to have more than one segment, you guys can come here and use this particular part. And if you want to change the shape from concave to convex and stuff, you guys can come here and basically do that from here as well. So you guys can actually check the shape over here. And lastly, if you want to customize your shape, let's just move this x-axis right over here. And now let's say you want to customize this particular shape right over here. So in that case, let's come here, let's select this thing up. Now if you just move this one over here, this is how you guys will be able to move it around. And after that, if you want to customize this particular shape, just go back and click on the last option, and over here you guys will be able to choose the shape accordingly. Okay, so you guys will be able to understand exactly right over here. So for that, if I select this one, let's come here, let's get this one, this particular shape. Now let's go to custom, and from the custom option, you guys can see now you guys can actually give on different kind of shapes. So come here, if you want to move this thing around, if you want to add any shape, you guys can come here, and you guys can basically customize the shapes here all along. Okay, and if you want to keep the same settings, you guys can basically keep the same settings itself. And if you want to change it, you guys can come here and basically change it over here as well. So just go back right over here, go to the bevel option, and now from here, if you just close this thing down, and if you want to reset the view, you guys can come here and reset the view as well. And if you want to see this one in the vertices, you guys can come here and you guys will be able to see it in the vertices as well. So now again, I will go back here in my super ellipse, and now here you guys can see this is how it basically works. So now if you want to just view it from all the other angles, this is how it basically looks. So you guys can basically create some different kind of model using the bevel tool. Okay, so now let's come here and let's delete this whole thing up. Okay, let's come here, let's go to the object mode, and from here I will just click on delete. And now again I will click on Shift A and I will just add up a cube right over here. And now from here, let's come to this option and again let's go to the edit mode. Okay, so I am over here into my edit mode, and let's say I just want to change only one vertices. So I will come here and from here I will just select the vertices, and my bevel tool is already selected. So what I can do is I can come here, and if I do want to change it, I will be able to change it from here. But instead of edges, what I need to put is I need to put on the vertices option on, and now I can actually increase the width from here as well. Okay, so if I want to give the width, I can come here and give the width from here, and under shape I can actually work down with the shape as well. And if I do want more segments, I can come here and I can basically have a lot of segments quite like this. And here you guys can see here I do have the material index. I can actually work on with the material index from this particular corner also. Okay, so this was all about how you will be able to change one particular angle in total. So if you come here, if you just increase it, you guys will be able to do it from here. Let's just decrease the shape if you want to move it around, and if you want to see this, you guys can come here, just select this particular stuff up. Okay, so just make sure you select this one, go to the vertices option, and now if you just move this all along, it will be moved quite properly. Okay, so this was about the bevel joint, which you guys will be able to use to make different kind of shapes. So now again I will just select all of this and I will just delete all the vertices. Let's select this one as well, click on vertices, all this particular extra part I will just delete this one, and again I will just click on Shift A, and over here I will create a cube. Okay, and now if I do want to increase the size over here, okay, so I will just click on G, or I will just click on S. And now if I want to move this one through the Y axis, I'll click on Y, and here you guys can see I am able to increase its size from the Y axis. Okay, so if I just move this all along right over here, I will be able to do that. Otherwise, let's come here and let's decrease the scaling from the X axis as well. So I will come here, I will decrease it from the X axis. Okay, so I can come here, otherwise let's increase the size from the X axis, and now I'll click on S and I'll click on Y to decrease its size from the Y axis. Okay, so come here and you guys can actually decrease the size from the Y axis itself. So come here and maybe place this particular thing right over here, and also let's go to the select box, let's go to the object mode, and now over here if you want to move towards the Z axis, go on to G and now click on Z, and now here you guys can just move it over here on top a little bit. So you guys can come here and maybe move this thing here on top. Now just choose up the angle, and if you want to bring this thing down as well, click on G, and after that click on Z, and here you guys can just bring this thing down as well. So now you guys can just check it from all the basic sides, and now I'll be showing you guys about different options. So now let's click on tab to go to my edit mode, and over here if I select the bevel, and now let's come here, let's select the face select option, and I will just select this top part, and if I just move this one up, here you guys can see that one looks quite weird. Okay, so over here this one looks basically quite weird if I do want to work over here. Okay, so now for that what I need to do is I need to come here to my object option and basically play around with all the options. Okay, so now the same way if I come here, let's say if I go to my object mode, let's click on object mode right over here, and now from here I will go to the object, and now from here I will go to apply, and the shortcut key for that is Ctrl A from your keyboard, and now I will just click on to the scale option. So now I will just click here onto the scale option, and again I will go here into the edit mode using the tab key from my keyboard. And once I have selected the bevel option, and now if I just do the bevel thing here, you guys can basically see how it actually looks. Okay, so over here you guys can see. Now if I just come here and let's just go back. Okay, so come here, let's move the x-axis. From here, let's go to the object mode. From the object mode, let's go to object, go to apply and click on scale. Now click on tab to go to the edit mode. Okay, and now click here and just try to bevel this thing up. Okay, so over here, how this is how it will basically look. And if you want to work with anything else here in the width type, okay, you guys can come here and basically work with the width type from here itself. Okay, otherwise instead of offset, if you select the depth option, you guys can come here and basically move this thing all around. If you want to bring it down, you guys can basically bring it down. And now you guys can basically view how this particular shape actually looks. Okay, so you guys will be able to use this particular thing quite like this. This is kind of like a horn right over here. And now let's just place it up quite here in the center. And again, I will come here, select the bevel tool, and if you want to apply the bevel, you guys can basically come here and apply the bevel from all of these sides here as well. Now using X, let's just view it up from all the other angle. And here you guys can see there you do have some shading. Okay, so that means that we have to understand that here I do have actually selected 2 or more objects at the same part, which doesn't go on great. There will be problem when I try to color all this thing down. Okay, so here I do have one shape. So now if you want to move it, let's click and let's first go to my object mode. Let's click on tab again. Otherwise, let's go object mode. Let's click on G and let's move this towards the y-axis. Let's place it right over here. Let's move the x vertices over here. And now basically we'll be learning here in the edit mode itself, but here we'll learn about the loop cutout option. Okay, so again for that I will come here, I will click on Shift A to create me a cube. And now let's click on S, and if I do want to decrease the size, I can decrease the size. And after that I will come here and I will just click on G. Okay, so come here, let's place it over here in the center. Let's click on S, but here I do want to actually scale it down from the y-axis. Okay, so I will come here, I will click on Y, and over here I will select this axis. And now again I will click on X, or let's click on S, and after that I will just click on X. And this is how you guys can actually make this thing up. And after that let's click on G, and now I'll click on Z to move it up all along over here. So I will just move this thing up right over here. So now over here again I will just put out the angle quite like this. And now let's just zoom out using Control minus. And over here now let's come to this loop cut option, and now here you will be able to create some edge loops. Okay, so once you hover your mouse over to this particular place, you guys can see there are horizontal imaginary lines and also vertical imaginary lines. Okay, so if you want to divide this one, if you want to add any edge loops, you guys can come here and select. And now if I click on X, here you guys can see using a yellow line there is basically a cut here in the center. Okay, so now again if you want to put those things vertically, you guys can come here, and over here you guys can basically add those vertical lines as well. So you guys can basically add more how much ever you want. Okay, and now if you come here, let's go to this option, let's come here, and if you want to add more, you guys can come here and add more over here. And now if you want to actually select any other part which you just want to drag, okay, you guys can click on Alt. Otherwise you guys can basically click on Control. Okay, and you guys can actually move this thing around. So you guys just need to select one particular part. Okay, so let's say I want to select this particular option, and now you guys can actually move this thing around. Okay, so the same way if you come here and if you just click on Control, and this is how you guys will be able to move this edge loop all around. Okay, so this is how you guys will be able to create your things around. Let's move the x-axis, And now let's say if I do have a different kind of rotation over here. Okay, so let's come here, let's select this whole thing up, let's click on to go to the object mode, and from the object mode let's just click on G. And now over here what I'll do is I'll select this thing up. Now I'll just select this particular cube, and from this particular cube what I'm going to do is if I want to give this thing up a weird shape, so for that I will come here, let's just move this thing all around. Now let's come to this particular option, and if you want to give this thing up a rotation, you guys will be able to give this thing up a rotation as well. Okay, so here as you guys can see both of these things are basically selected. So if you just double click over here into the cube option, here you guys can see now I do have the cube option right over here. And if you want to create up a new collection, you guys can click on Shift A, and let's go with a cube, and let's come here and let's just move both of this thing up here in one corner. Let's click on G, and now let's just move it up right over here. Let's select this one, Control plus to zoom in. Okay, and I will again go back to my edit mode, and from here if I want to add here vertical and also here in sides, I will be able to do that. And now let's come here and let's select this whole thing up. Okay, if you want to select any part individually, you guys will be able to select different parts individually over here as well. Okay, so now let's click here and let's go to this particular edit mode. And now let's come here, let's go back, and using the hand tool you guys can basically move this thing around. Okay, so now I will come here, let's select this one, and from here let's go to the edge slide option. Okay, so now over here if you want to slide down your edges, you guys will be able to do that from here. And if you want to move it up quite over here in the exact center of both of this edge loop, you guys will be able to do that. So now if you just click on Alt, or if you just click on Control, okay, you guys can actually work right over here again. And again now if I just click on this particular option, let's click on Alt, and you guys will be able to move this thing up all along. Okay, so if you just want to delete this particular vertices, you guys can come here and basically delete the particular vertices, and you guys can actually make shapes accordingly. Okay, so I hope you guys have understood this class on how you will be able to work on with the bevel and also the loop cut, and also lastly the edge slide tool. So hope to see you all in the next chapter where we'll be learning more about the Blender. Take care everyone, see you all in the next chapter.